How are you doing? I know you're not 30, by the way. Can we be honest about our
Yeah,
ages? I'll
yeah.
tell you my age.
34.
Huh?
I'm 34. 34, yeah.
You're really 34. You said you're lying, though.
Yeah. I said that as I was being sarcastic. Like I was like, because you're like, really? I was like, yeah, I'm lying. Yeah, like you got me.
No, okay, I get the sarcasm now, but like, I don't know.
I got Gorillas T-shirt. So
What is this T-shirt?
it's Gorillas.
Gorillas.
Feel good. Do.
I don't know. Is this some music group? I don't know about this. How you doing, brother? What state are you in, by the way? I wanted to ask you. I always like to ask. Sorry?
Texas.
Texas. You said that before. What part of Texas? I have family in Texas.
El Paso.
El Paso. So you're right near that Mexican border. Oh, Pittsburgh.
Sir?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Someone
Shout
said
out.
in the comments. Shout out Pittsburgh. Hit that like and subscribe button. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Is this your phone? Yeah, this is your phone, I guess. You have your computer in front of you. I saw you were playing Call of Duty.
I wanted to use my laptop, but this function doesn't work on laptops.
Damn, the YouTube live stream doesn't work on laptops?
True.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's interesting. So even though you live near the border, let me start with this. Before we get into the 14th Amendment and all this crap, let me just ask you your opinion. Do you believe in open borders or no?
Kind of, yes.
Kind of or yes? Which one is it?
Yeah, pretty much yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll put it this way. Mexico has pretty much an open border policy for what we would consider the border zone in America. So you have 100 miles into America, and that's like a constitution-free zone where you have no Fourth Amendment rights. And that's about, I think, somewhere around like 80% of the U.S. population lives within the 100 miles of the border. So, there's a lot of problems because of that.
What do you mean because of no Fourth Amendment right? Please explain to everyone here about the Fourth Amendment and how they have no amendment rights there. Sorry?
Yeah. So you have the right to not have to show anybody anything from your person or let anyone search your person or seize your thing, belongings, or your person, according to the Fourth Amendment. Which is so like the reasonable articulable suspicion or suspicion of a crime.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with the border, does it?
Yes, it does. It does. So next to the border, you don't have that right.
Why? Because of the Expedited Removal Act? Because of the Expedited Removal Act?
No, it's I think it has to do with the Alien
the Alien Entities Act?
Not that one. It's a different one. It's Naturalization Immigration Act. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Honestly, I've never heard of that before. As far as I know, the rights and the constitutional rights are the same everywhere inside of the United States. But I can tell you a little bit about the Expedited Removal Act. That does have something to do with the 100 miles, being 100 miles away from Mexico. But you said, you claim, let me just get this right. The first statement you said Mexico has open borders for American citizens. Is that what you said?
You don't need a visa. I don't know how many miles it is, but basically where I am, like as far as I'm ever going to Mexico, you don't need a visa for a pretty long time. Like I think within 90 days.
The American passport doesn't need a visa for like, a lot of, probably about 100 plus countries. We don't need visas for Europe. We don't need visas for like a lot of countries in South America. That's why we have a strong passport. That's why we don't need visas. There's other countries that don't need visas in Mexico either, but they don't. That's not an open border. Not requiring a visa is not the same as an open border.
I mean, well, I go into Mexico very often, and
no, I understand that.
Yeah, there's
but
very
open
little
border would mean this. That would mean I don't have to show my passport or ID crossing into Mexico.
I don't want to make it seem like it's one way because it's not. It's when you're coming into the border, when you're coming into America, they typically only search you if you like
suspicious looking.
Not even like that, is it? It's not about being suspicious looking. It's really about like just answering their questions.
Yeah, each country has their own rights. They can do however they want.
This is true. But
Mexico does not have open borders for American citizens. That first statement is false, brother. I'm sorry to tell you.
In my experience, it's been I crossed into Mexico.
Do you show your ID or do you show your passport?
Nothing, sir.
No, that's a lie.
Swear to God on the Holy Bible.
You show nothing.
Zero. I don't show a passport. I don't show anything. I say buenos dias. I say gracias.
I don't think that's true. I think that's a blatant lie. What if I look this up on Google right now?
I bet my entire life and family on that.
Are you Mexican? I'm curious.
No, I'm black and white, but yeah.
So you don't have a Mexican passport or anything like that. You're telling me they don't require you to show an ID or a passport?
I have crossed into Mexico through my port. No fewer than 3.
You know, there's not a single country in the world that I can name that you can cross borders without showing ID, right? Other than like the European Schengen zone. I mean, I understand that. You still have to show your European ID though. You don't have to show passport though.
When we get off this, we'll talk, and I'll let you watch me cross the border.
You have a video of it?
I'll get you one. I'll do it on video.
I'm just gonna Google search this. Is that okay? Does Mexico let Americans enter no passport ID? What do you think's gonna come up? All right, me either. Let's maybe I'm wrong. It says for American citizen traveling to Mexico or ID, a valid U.S. passport is required for air travel. However, Mexico by land or sea, Americans can also use U.S. passport card or other approved travel documents such as trusted travel card, a birth certificate, a photo ID, but a passport is generally recommended. So I don't see anything about. I mean, I've heard this rumor before from other, like, I don't know what you consider yourself, a leftist, a liberal, a Democrat, but I've heard this claim before by other people before. But I mean, like, I'm not saying that they won't let you go through if you don't give them if you give them $100, that's bribery. But like in general, what the actual laws are, you need to show identification when crossing into Mexico.
You're subject to search when you cross the border, but all they do is they X-ray your bag if you have a bag, and you go through a metal detector, and then you're good.
Here is the U.S. Department of State, travel.state.gov, Mexico international travel information. Let me check this out. By the way, guys, hit that like, subscribe button. I have a friend in here that's born in Mexico, so J Money, if you know anything about this, please educate me. Maybe I'm wrong.
It might be anecdotal.
He's not a Trump supporter, by the way. He was born in Mexico, so maybe he can tell us something.
Yeah, Dima music sheet. Yes, being American and trying to cross the U.S. border without showing ID is it's gonna take a long time.
What about coming back into America? You at least need to show your ID then.
I get detained at the border a lot.
Okay, here you go. Here's what it says. This is the official U.S. government website. It says entering Mexico, Mexico International Travel Advisory. Your passport must be valid when you enter. You can't bring more than 10,000 U.S. dollars. I know you're a U.S. citizen, but you said you were born in Mexico.
No, I don't think.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying one of the people in the comments. Let's see what else. And by the way, a visa is required when traveling more than 180 days. I didn't know Americans get 180 days. I thought it was 90 days. But everything I says you need an ID or a passport. I've never seen actual proof where, there's nowhere that's open borders. I really, I've traveled to 20 countries. I've never been to Mexico before, but every country I've been requires ID or passport.
That might be true, but law and practice are different things in Mexico, apparently. Which, I mean, that's true for America, too. Like, we don't really follow the law to a T in America at all. So
I mean, we do follow the law for the most part. I mean, I know Mexico is a country that's highly bribed.
Dude, we do not prosecute cops. We don't prosecute cops.
Yeah, we do. Literally, the guy that quote unquote killed George Floyd is in prison right now for like 30 years. What do you mean we don't prosecute cops?
We prosecute rapists. We don't prosecute cops.
Then why is there a cop in prison right now that killed a black man, quote unquote?
Murdered somebody. He murdered somebody.
You just said cops don't get prosecuted, though.
Yeah, for deprivation of rights under color of law.
What are you talking about specifically?
So if a guy pulls you over for no reason, okay, that's supposedly an unlawful stop.
Here's the official Mexican consulate website. This is the consulate of Mexico. The website is consumex.sre.gov.mex. This is the official Mexican consulate website. It says, no, a U.S. citizen cannot enter Mexico with just an ID. It says a valid passport is required. For travel by air, for land and sea travel, a passport or other compliant documents are also acceptable. But it says it's impossible to enter Mexico. So I checked the Mexicans' website, the what was this one called again? The consulate of Mexico, and I've checked the consulate of America, and they both said you need IDs and verification of who you are to enter Mexico.
When we get off this call, I'll message you and I'll show you. Okay.
Okay, you can show me, but I'm telling you, this is what even if they did let you in, that would be illegal. That would be them breaking the law for bribery for one way or another. I mean, this is the Mexican law. Do you think this is Mexican law? Yes or no?
Laws aren't I guess laws aren't followed.
I hate to tell you this, bro. It's nothing against you, but I think you're full of shit telling me that you've entered Mexico multiple times with no ID.
Full of shit, so I'm gonna prove it. That's what I'm saying. I know that you think I'm full of shit.
No, I mean, I'm checking all the Mexican law. I'm checking multiple sources on Google. I don't see anything that says you can enter Mexico without an ID or a passport.
Do you think that any party in America uses propaganda?
What do you mean propaganda?
Exactly what that means.
I think America is full of propaganda. I think every country is. But you're blackpilling me now. I'm just talking about, like, as far as I know, as a person that's traveled to 20 countries, and a person that researches border laws and visas, and as a person that's lived in 2 different countries other than America, I've never heard of a single country in the entire world. It doesn't matter if you're right next to them or not. They all require ID or passport or something when you enter the country. Like, I know open border sounds like such a lovely idea, but I've extensively researched and haven't found a single country that actually lets open borders happen. They want to know if you work for the cartel, because how do you get through the border without ID? Like, you realize, let me mention another point. You realize Mexico gets a lot of their guns from the United States, actually, because we're a huge arms manufacturer. But yet you're telling me you think Mexico allows U.S. citizens into the country without, passport or an ID? I mean, maybe if you slip them $500, maybe.
No, they put your bag through an X-ray and they put you through a metal detector.
So they put you through a metal detector and they put you through an X-ray, but they don't ask for an ID or passport.
No, my bag goes into it.
Yeah, that seems a little bit extreme if they're not even going to ask you for your passport or your ID.
But that's what we don't do in America. We ask someone a stupid-ass question like, where are you going?
They do ask for your ID or your passport.
They ask for your ID and passport in America, and they ask you some stupid-ass question like, where are you going? What do you do for a job? And then
that's their job. That's their job. Trust me, I understand. I've been detained. I have been detained by Homeland Security at the airport for about 6 hours before, and I know you're going to say racism or stereotypes or this or that. I'm a white man. Why did they detain me and say, you're a young man, we're suspicious of you because we think you have a lot of money, which I don't have a lot of money, but they thought, it was suspicious that a young man was traveling around the world. But if you guys have any questions or comments, drop some super chats. Let's talk about this. Yeah, I'm poor. Why are they stopping me saying I look suspicious and I'm this or that? I've been detained at the border. And not at the Mexican border either, at the airport, at Miami Airport.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what that's like, and I wasn't just asked a few questions, or I wasn't just suspicious. I was basically put in a airport security thing where I was not allowed to use my phone, talk to anyone, and I was with a bunch of criminals. And they
How long
downloaded
were you?
all the video content and messages off my phone, and they searched all my bags. So I 100% know what that's like.
How many hours were you detained for at the border?
Maybe 6 to 7, maybe 8.
The longest I've been detained was probably like an hour and a half, but it
Yeah,
happens a
so then
lot.
we're completely different situations.
Yeah.
My questioning was more than an hour and a half.
No, I didn't get questioned at all. They just fucking put me in a fucking cell.
No, they searched all my bags. They interviewed me for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then they downloaded everything off my phone. Then they looked through all my phone by hand. They asked me questions about things in my phone, which obviously none of them were that incriminating because I didn't get any charges. I got let go, but yeah, I went through the entire process. So it's not like it was just an hour or nothing like that. I wish it was just an hour.
Yeah, yeah. The first time I got detained, they did question me, but
I said I'm an American citizen. I said I'm an American citizen. I have rights, and they told me this: we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Let us look through your phone. Give me your phone password. And I said, "Fuck. All right, I'm not hiding anything. Here you go."
suck dick.
I mean, yeah, but then they can do a bunch of other shit to you. I watched a lawyer video about it, but there's a lot of shit they can do to you. We got
Personally,
300 people in here, though. Hit that like button. What do you
yeah.
consider yourself politically, by the way? Democrat,
Uh,
leftist, or liberal, or
probably
like
like
socialist?
a libertarian independent, but like my family, my father's definitely conservative. My mother's definitely like Democrat liberal. She was a huge Clinton fan. My
Oh,
grandma,
Clintons.
yeah, my black mother loved Clinton. My grandmother is like a political science major. My grandfather's a scientist, so I've got a big mix, man, honestly. But I'm really into individual rights.
No, I'm 100% with you. I mean, in my personal opinion, I would have never guessed you're a libertarian. I like libertarian a lot. I'm more of a centralist. I'm maybe a little bit libertarian, but I also have like a lot of conservative values, especially when it comes to the border. Like, I realize like having an open border literally encourages things like human trafficking because when we have open border policies, it's only facts that more children and women get human trafficked. That's exactly why we can't have open borders. Like I said, maybe some people do get into Mexico with no ID or no passport, but they have to be bribing the authorities, or they have to be like an accidental slip, or there has to be some mistake. Because from the law that I'm researching, every country enforces the law. They all ask for. I looked at the Mexican consulate. It says U.S. citizens need ID or passport or some kind of documents. Listen, I have a lot of Mexican family. I have family in San Antonio and in Texas, and I've never once in my life heard people like saying they're entering Mexico without documents and IDs. I even have other Mexican people that come on this show that are Mexican citizens.
What port of entries are you using?
I mean,
Like
I don't
legal?
know the exact port of entry they're using. I don't think that really matters too much.
It
But if
does
you're
matter.
entering then you need because expect me to believe they're x-raying and searching through your
And
bags, but they're not asking you for an ID to see who you are.
I promise you on the Holy Bible, I have crossed in the last year no fewer than 300 times, and I have never shown it. Now, do I come ready?
You crossed
Yes.
300 times in 1
In the
year.
last year. Yeah, I live right off the border. Yeah.
You crossing every day. That's what you're telling me.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I want to get a soda, it's cheaper in Mexico.
So how far is it from you and out from El
Uh,
Paso?
5 miles.
5 miles?
Yeah.
So you're going to Mexico every single day.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, brother. I never heard that in my life before where you can enter without ID or passport.
This is what I'm here for.
Maybe you can prove me wrong. But I literally just looked it up. Even the person in here, my friend that was born in Mexico, he said, I don't know, bro. Every single time I come into Mexico by plane, they're asking me for an ID. I mean, I get plane is different than walking or driving. I understand that, but I looked at the Mexican consulate, and it
It's a lot
says
different.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're walking or you're driving or what. You need an ID.
Let me let me go up to Laredo, and I'm gonna cross through Laredo. If the same thing happens in Laredo, then I'm
Don't you have your
super
computer
confident.
right in front of you? Can't you show us some kind of evidence? I'm just really curious.
Let me think. I probably should because I take a lot of videos. Um, Honestly, dude, I'll be real with you. I'm not a Mexican, so I'm not really motivated to be a journalist over there.
No,
You
I
know what I
get
mean?
that, but you said you had some kind of evidence. Like, I'm not calling
Yeah,
you a
no.
liar or anything, but I have a
I
little bit
can
of
make a
trouble
video of
believing
me crossing
this.
the border. I can make a video right now of me crossing the border without any kind of ID or
So
anything like that.
you're gonna make a video and send it to me. You can't even. Do you have the Elon chip? What is the Elon chip? The Neuralink?
Put it in my eyeball. No, I'm good.
Nah, bro, it doesn't go in your eyeball. It goes in your brain.
Yeah, even
Go
worse.
like this, so Elon can insert that chip.
Oh, dude, that sounds great, man. Fucking some autistic billionaire gets to tell me what to do while.
Oh, you have to use that word autistic, bro. You don't have to do that to the special needs community. The
I
special
don't mind
needs
being
community.
autistic. I'm just saying that, why do I need to have somebody who's autistic and a billionaire in my brain? It's propaganda, my friend. I'll bring it. I promise. I'm gonna make sure you
Okay,
find it.
okay. If I'm wrong, I'll come back on stream and say, "Hey guys, I'm wrong." But I
Check
know
this out. You can
many.
show the
I
video.
literally know
I'm
people
not
that are Mexican citizens, and they tell me you need to show ID or something, or passport or something.
one time they actually looked inside of my bag. One time.
So they're looking inside of your bag, but they're not asking
One
you who
time.
you are.
One time. Yeah, because they want to see if you have a gun. They don't give a fuck who you are. They just want to know if you have a gun.
You could literally be a criminal. You could be on the run from the law, and you're telling me that they don't care who you are. I don't know, bro. That's just hard to believe. You could be like
I know
a mass murderer in the United States.
me personally,
I mean, I don't know.
not me. No. I can't joke about that on here. That's weird.
No, I wasn't joking about it. I'm just, I don't know. But yeah, so what was your main point? You wanted to debate like Trump doesn't give like due process? Is that what you wanted to say? The
Okay.
14th Amendment?
So I dig. So okay, here's my point is that what you guys are like, what MAGA is doing as far as deportation goes, okay, is just not backed up by the history of enforcement of various kinds of different laws. So you have immigration law, you have criminal code, you have like tax code, you have business. There's these various codes, right? And they're not all the codes are criminal code. Okay, criminal code would be like deprivation of rights under color of law, kidnapping, larceny, all those things, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Crime would be a city ordinance, such as a police ordinance. And I like to use that as an analogy. So let's say that you have committed the infraction of violating a noise ordinance, right? So you're really loud; they can hear you from over 100 feet out of your apartment, right? Typically, what would happen is you would get an eviction, and then you would stay in the apartment until the court date. And then more often than not, you're not immediately evicted from this after the court date. So what's going on right now is you guys are saying, hey, you have a noise ordinance, and you know what? We're actually going to take you right now. So imagine you're having a party at 11 o'clock at night. It's really loud, really, really busting. And then the cops come over and they say that like they get to talk to you. You're talking to them. You're doing the right thing. You're like giving your information. You're being polite. You're answering their questions. And then they say, all right, well, you're guilty of this breaking this noise ordinance, so you're going to jail right now. That's what we're doing.
Okay, I have a couple of things. Can I speak now, or do you have anything else to say?
I'm done.
Okay, so first thing is they don't evict you when you're. I've literally had this personal experience to me before. I've had places threatening to like evict me. So the first thing is if you throw a party and it's loud, they don't send you an eviction notice right away. For the majority of the time, that's never happened to me. I've gotten two warnings, like saying, "Oh, if you don't stop, we're gonna send you an official eviction notice." I've never had. This was for two different apartments, by the way. They never told me right away. They're like, they never said, "Oh, you're getting evicted." They just said, "Oh, you keep it down, or we're going to evict you." And second off, the only similarities between eviction or a noise complaint, sorry, and
They're both
crossing the
civil.
border illegally is that they're both misdemeanors. But the main difference
No,
is that,
not
like a
strictly
good,
both.
huh?
If you're okay, so maybe let's talk about working with a visa without a visa. If you work without a visa, that's a civil infraction.
I
That
didn't
is
say that. I
equivalent.
said entering the country illegally, jumping over the border is a
I don't
misdemeanor.
hold on a second. I don't know if that's necessarily true. That is it
It
true
is
that it's a
true.
mis-
I googled it before we had this live stream. It's a misdemeanor. You have your
I
computer
think
right in front of you. Google it.
I'm pretty sure that you're subject to deportation, but that doesn't mean that you're guilty
No, it's a
of.
misdemeanor charge.
So
Look it
what's
up
the
on your
what is
computer.
that?
Please look it up on your computer. Look up, is jumping over the border, entering the country illegally a criminal offense?
I will. I'll look at it.
It's a misdemeanor. And you
Is
are
illegal.
subject for deportation. And also,
Yeah,
for the loud noise complaint, you're not always going to be charged with you're not always going to be taken to jail or anything like that. You can
you're
get
never
you
taking
can
a
get
joke.
hit with a fine, huh?
This is the point I'm trying to make is that illegal immigration, yes, at this volume, okay, I get it. We got to do something about it. We got to fix the system a little bit, right? But it's still not a big deal. It's a civil infraction. If you're trying
It's
to
a
say,
huge deal. What if you're a criminal that's
fine,
convicted of murders, grapes, and all kinds of different
if it was
offenses?
if it was a big deal, it would be a crime. It
It
can't be
is
a
a
civil
crime. I just told you it was a misdemeanor.
infraction. Is let
It's
me
not a
finish.
civil infraction. Jumping over the border is a misdemeanor charge, and you're due for deportation. I knew you were going to bring this up. That's why I used Google before we got on here. Here, did I
All
take a
right.
screenshot of it? Here it is. Yes, crossing the border into the United States is a misdemeanor for first offense. You see that right there? Look, I
I see
googled
it.
it there. So it's not a civil uh infraction or whatever you call it. It's a misdemeanor. And if it was up to me, it would be a felony. And also, I took a screenshot because I knew you were going to bring up, oh, the noise complaints. Here, you want to take a good comparison? So let's first go over what happens when you jump over the border. I have the screenshot here. You can't see everything. So yes,
Misdemeanor
crossing the
eight.
border into the United States is a misdemeanor if you do it illegally for the first offense. This is specifically defined as improper entry by an alien.
It's called it's 8 U.S. Code 1325. 8 U.S. Code Section 1325 says
Okay, cool. It's a misdemeanor.
it is a
First
misdemeanor.
time someone illegally enters the U.S., they are charged with a misdemeanor, which is a serious crime. And then, if they enter again, it's a felony. Improper entry. This offense includes entering or attempting to enter the U.S. outside of the designated ports. Even if you're a U.S. citizen, by the way, some have been charged with this, by the way. Channel 5 before, they're kind of centralist, maybe a little bit more libertarian.
What's
Did you
his
see
name?
the video they made about entering the country illegally?
Yes, yeah. He was held for 3 days. I think it was right.
I think it was like a week actually, but yeah, he was held for a week. He's a U.S. citizen, and he had to go to court to fight the charges. I think he actually got charged with a misdemeanor in the end. Because how are you going to avoid it? You were recording it. That was just dumb.
You have
But
to you have to enter port of entry. I agree with that.
I thought you wanted open borders, though.
Well, I mean, yes, but I want them to. If you're gonna do it, like if you're gonna have a border, then have the border do something. Don't just talk to people and check their papers. Like actually stop drugs. Actually stop guns.
But
They're
talking to
not.
people is how you know if they're suspicious or not. That they don't ask you these questions because they give
Don't
a hell
provide.
about what you're doing, where you're going, how's your day going.
Every,
They ask
if
you
you're gonna
these
have a
questions to
border,
raise
check everything all
suspicion.
the time.
Maybe they're suspicious of you doing trafficking of humans, children, or drugs, or offense, or who knows. These questions are to raise suspicion. They're not to like. They don't actually care what you're doing. They don't actually care about your day. They're looking for red flags. But let me continue with this little thing that we got in the background. Improper entry is an offense entering or attempting to enter U.S. outside of designated ports, trying to evade inspection by immigration facilities. First offense can result in fines, imprisonment up to 6 months, or both. That's a great point. And meanwhile, the first offenses of noise complaints are normally just a warning or a fine. They rarely result in jail time or any
Exactly.
major consequence. But if you're
The
making a
vast
noise complaint, is much less risk. No one's gonna die from a noise complaint. No one's gonna get trafficked. No drugs are
whoa, whoa,
gonna
whoa, 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 whoa,
be
whoa.
sold out or distributed through the city. Like, do you understand that noise complaints are a lot less of a problem than letting people into the country without, anything like that?
Who's dying because we have a working farming industry?
I'm not saying anything about the farming industry. Like I said, I have lots of family members that are Mexican. I'm not against immigration in any way. We probably can agree on this one thing, you being a libertarian and me being MAGA. I do agree that we need to fix the immigration system. Like, it's messed up. It shouldn't take years and years and years, et cetera, et cetera. But here, let me read this comment. Mr. Murdoch, Wall Street Journal, New York Post, anywhere he goes, the border opens up, and it's great propaganda for the conservatives in the UK, United States, and Australia. February 24th, by the way, that's 4 days before my birthday, February 24th, for all the viewers watching. Senator GOP backed bipartisan border deal, but Trump told them to kill it so the Dems won't get a win. What border bill are you talking about? I've heard a lot of things about this border bill. I think I need to do some research on it, honestly. But to be quite frank with you, I'm not really sure what they're talking about, because I know Kamala had this great border bill or something. Maybe it was Kamala, maybe it was someone else, but they said, "Oh, this bill is gonna fix everything. It's gonna make it easier." Bullshit. I don't believe it. I didn't read it though, to be quite honest with you. But like, you really want me to believe that this great bill that was so fantastic that was gonna fix the borders? I mean, most people aren't against most, even Republicans, most MAGA aren't against immigration. Why would most people be against immigration when most people's families immigrated? My family immigrated, but I'm not like a second generation or a first generation or a third generation. It was my great grandparents. They entered the country legally. They came to Ellis Island. They had to wait time to get processed. Even back then, they had to pay money to get into the country. But yeah, I don't know about this great bipartisan border deal. Do you know anything about this, bro?
No, no, I'm pretty sure that had to do with hiring a lot more judges. Um, can I ask something about your chat? Chat. Anyone in the chat who thinks we should deport all the immigrants, hit a one.
Even Trump doesn't believe in deporting all the illegal immigrants. He said he's going to help out the farmers and the agriculture industry. But I've Google searched this before. Now, maybe I'm wrong. You have a computer right in front of you. You can fact
Yeah,
check me. But
yeah.
I Google searched this before. The majority of industries that are in
Oh,
sorry, the majority of people that are in the agriculture industry, rather farming, picking crops, they actually, are on visas. Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw it was like less than like, I'll say maybe less than 20% of illegal immigrants are the ones that are working at farms and, agriculture industries and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother debate. President Trump said he actually wants to help these people fix their citizenship. They just need a process. He wants to help them by processing their documents and doing stuff like that so he can get them legal citizenship, and especially for the people that have been here for 10 or 20 years. And either way, even if we wanted to deport everyone, like some people do want to deport everyone, but if we're talking statistically, that's not even possible if we're all going to be honest here. But, even if we can't deport everyone, my argument is we should not encourage illegal immigration for multiple reasons. First off, you're breaking crime. Second off, it's a misdemeanor. Third off, there's people that been waiting in line for like years and years and years, sometimes a decade. They spent 10,000, 20,000, sometimes $100,000 paying for immigration lawyers, attorneys, all this stuff trying to come into the United States. And then all of a sudden we just say, okay, someone from Mexico can just jump the border and they can come in illegally. It's fine. But, the people that are trying to do the right thing, pay thousands of dollars and wait in line. Nah, screw those people. Let's make them wait a little bit longer.
Wouldn't a tether be a much more efficient
A
solution?
tether? What do you mean a tether?
Oh, like an ankle monitor.
What do you mean an ankle monitor for what?
So keep them in their homes and you give them an ankle monitor
Keep them in their homes and put an ankle monitor for what?
for illegal immigrants.
Why? That seems
Because
silly.
they work and we get to deport them when we want to. You don't have to deport everyone all the time.
Well, then why wouldn't we just tell them get your criminal background check and stay in the country? I don't see the purpose of an ankle monitor. Are they not trustworthy? Is that what you're trying to say?
What you're trying to say? You're trying to say that we can't have an open border. Someone's like, okay, we don't have an open border. We have a closed border. But at the same time, I don't think that disrupting an
14
entire
million ankle monitors. First off, that's going to cost a shit ton of money.
way 50 million beds.
By the way, do you know people that are on probation have to pay for their own ankle monitor, and that shit costs like
Good.
$200 a month?
These are all economically viable options.
Ankle monitors are pretty expensive. Do you know the average price of an ankle monitor?
Pay for it.
Huh?
The immigrant's going to pay for the ankle monitor.
They're going to
I'm
pay
paying
for their
for
own ankle monitor. They're going to pay $5,000 for an ankle monitor.
or you're going to get the fuck out. I think that's fair. If you came here illegally, you got to pay for an ankle monitor. I think
mean,
that's
at
fair.
that point, we should just let them. We should just give them an option to legally stay here for $10,000. And there is a visa. Someone commented the name of the visa. There is like a. Let me scroll up to see if I can see the name. But there's a visa that you can apply for work. It only takes about 30 to 45 days. I'm not saying you're going to get approved 100%. It's called an H-2A visa. You can look it up. It takes about 30 to 45 days. And this is a work visa that you can get. You can come legally. You can cut an ankle monitor off with a pair of scissors. That's a great comment. And where are they getting $5,000 from? That's another great comment.
A job.
H-2A, that's a great option. But even beyond that, we should have an option. I think if they pay, listen, if I was president, if I could make any law I would want, this would probably cause a shit show of immigration. I'll say maybe if you want to come in illegally, maybe $10,000 or $20,000. Probably 10 is too low, but maybe $15,000 or $20,000. You pay this, we'll give you legal citizenship.
Here's the problem though. When you make it like a financial reason why you have to come in there and not like an economic reason, the financial reason can also exacerbate crime because people are like, I need that money, I need that money, I need that money.
Yeah, that's going to cause more crime in Mexico, probably. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't really like it being like buy your way in. I like working your way in.
The H-2A visa, like I said, they can get a sponsorship, a visa. They can get that done in 30 to 45 days. Yes, the USA has the right to reject, any visa they want.
Can I respond to one guy? Vance, they won't be able to afford it. That's the whole point. That I personally, I want people to be getting as much money as humanly possible, right? I want that, there's not that much disparity between the rich and the poor. So, yeah, if someone's taking a job for $10 an hour, I don't really even want them here. Like, that's kind of pulling everyone down lower.
So you think hiring, that's a great point, actually. I agree with you. So you think if illegal immigrants are getting paid below minimum wages for their agriculture work, you think that is a bad thing, yeah? Is that what you're saying?
Horrible. Because I would love America to be one big union and we all collectively bargain together. That would be really nice, right?
And I agree with you what you said. That is horrible if the illegal immigrants are working in agriculture, they're not getting minimum wage because Democrats will use the excuse, they'll say, I know you said you're a libertarian, I'm just saying, Democrats, and I know you're agreeing with me, literally, that's another point, but Democrats will literally say, well, if we don't pay them non-livable wages, who's going to pick our fruits and vegetables for so cheap? First off, that sounds like slavery. Second off,
that's slavery. You can get the
Second
hell out
off,
of there
look
with
at
that.
the farmers markets. The majority of farmers markets are lower than grocery prices, and also these are all legal citizens. These are family ran businesses for the most part. None of them are
Are
like
you
from
a
Mexico.
globalist or a nationalist?
Huh?
Are you a globalist, a nationalist?
No, I'm a nationalist. Oh God, I'm fighting against the globalists.
That works. Like, I understand that we can't have all the manufacturing in America because of wages, right? There's some things that just don't have the profit margins. We're not going to be able to make like cereal or like some. There's going to be something that is just impossible to manufacture in America. We should rely on Mexico for a lot of things. Like Mexican, I'm in Mexico a lot. They're happy here. The system works here. Like the wage system and all the things that they're doing over here, it works. They're happy with what they have. Many Mexicans would not be happy with the conditions in Mexico, but the people who live here are happy. They're very, very happy, actually. So for our own economic good, it's just silly. It's like, why? Like they invite us over here. There's more murals in America, or excuse me, in Mexico of the American flag. They idolize us to some extent.
Of course,
And
all countries idolize us, to be honest with you.
we disrespect them in response. It's crazy.
How do we disrespect them? By forcing legal immigration
By
like every other country enforces
by using their labor,
legal
kicking them out,
immigration?
by
Huh?
using them their and then kicking them out, making them unwelcome in the country that they helped create.
Well, first off, I don't think they helped create America. That's obviously wrong. But second off, like you just said, first off, you said you're for globalization, but at the same time, you're against illegal immigrants getting minimum wages, getting paid lower than minimum wage. I mean, the majority of globalists, all they want to do is, I mean, this isn't just for America, this is for every country. Globalists want to get people in from Mexico, India, any third world countries that they can get cheap labor for and pay these people non livable wages. And they want to take the profit margins. That's all what globalists are about. They love these
No,
illegal
that's not what
immigrants coming
I
in.
want America. I
That
want
way, they
America.
don't got to pay them minimum wages. They're all
No,
about
America.
profits and making much money as possible. They don't care about national security or the border laws. They just care about bringing these people in from other countries and paying them below minimum wages. Like, that's why there's a reason many people call globalism evil and corrupt. I
At
mean,
all.
sorry, you're freezing.
And bringing it back to America. That's
So
what
we
we
should
should be
be
doing.
sorry. Start over again because you're freezing out a
We
little
should
bit.
be we should be number one, welcome in every country. Now that we're welcome in every country, we should spread ourselves as widely as
We
possible,
do
not as a
welcome
nation.
every country, but you have to come to the legal
We're not. We are not
process.
welcome anymore. That's not true anymore, dude. That's become
What
way
country
less.
welcomes every country? Tell me what country lets people come in without a background check and live there forever. Not even your
Can't
precious Mexico
popping right.
lets Americans stay there for longer than 6 months.
So Cancun is not popping right now if you're an American. I don't know if you know that or not.
If you stay in Mexico longer than 6 months as an American citizen, they'll deport you.
Yeah, but I mean, they probably won't find you. Like they're probably not gonna. No one's gonna.
I mean,
I've
I don't know
never.
what they'll do, but they'll definitely deport you. They'll definitely kick you out because they don't
No,
welcome everyone. You got to go through their checks and balances. You got to go through their process, just like in America. There's no country that welcomes everyone without paperwork, background checks, and the process that they have. That just doesn't exist. So I'm confused on what you mean by, oh, they don't let everyone in. But if you guys have any questions for either one of us, drop some super chats. Let's hear some good questions or comments.
who believes that you can get into Mexico without without an ID? Drop
Drop
a
a
one.
one. Drop a one. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people believe it, but the main thing that you're saying now again is saying, "Oh, America isn't welcoming immigrants. Isn't welcoming immigrants." Well, they're welcoming them just like every other country. I
They
mean, every
are.
other country, you got to do the same thing. You got to show a background check. You got to file your paperwork. This is coming from an American that's lived in two different countries for
Time on my
long.
side. Del Rio.
Huh?
So this guy knows. So he's saying he's in Del Rio, which is not too far from where I am. And he's saying you do need documents to get into Mexico. How does that work? What do they ask for?
You have a Mexican. You have a man that was born in Mexico, and he says you need documents.
I've never shown a document in my entire life. I've gotten a visa one time, and I never needed it.
A passport? Question mark? Question mark? Yeah, he's talking about ID, passport, whatever. They ask for passport or military ID. Passport or ID. Someone
He
said
said,
not if you drive in. There's a guy that
David
agrees
Oso,
with you.
right? Yeah, that's been my experience. If I drive in, I don't have to show shit. They look at my Texas plate and they wave me through.
Can you join the vid debate? Yeah, you can be in the next guest. If anyone wants to be on debating or discussing or talking, yeah, you're welcome in. Join the Discord.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No, and absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Where's your camera though? You just went. Yeah, I can't see anything.
It just did it on its own, so it is what it is. All right.
You leaving? Is he?
Yeah, I want to give this guy Ben an
Huh?
opportunity, unless you want to ask me another question. Or yeah, my thing is I think that Americans need to be welcome everywhere, and I don't think this whole tariff stuff or this mass deportation is going to be very good for Americans politically in
Well,
other
first off,
countries.
we are welcoming people just like other countries welcome them, and second off, tariffs are a whole nother discussion and debate. I thought we were talking about immigration. And third off, I have a lot more to say. Yeah, I do have a lot more questions for you. What do you think about Biden's and Obama's deportations and how Obama used the Expedited Removal Act, where if we're an illegal immigrant enters the country, and if they're like a couple hundred miles from the border, they can be removed without any court hearing or anything like that. Like Obama deported 3 million Americans without due process.
Yeah, so I actually have a court case coming up in 1 month in New Hampshire for particularly being allowed to record a police officer inside of a courthouse lobby. And this was the same courthouse that I was doing it in, that there was actually a man arrested inside the courthouse by ICE agents. And there's no video camera of it other than the CCTV inside the building.
And
So
what, you recorded it?
no, I recorded the police. I was doing I was filing a lawsuit, and I had to, like, I wasn't allowed in. I was trespassed from the courthouse because I was recording another day, so I had to ask a cop to come with me. And so I'm going to court in a month so that we can argue about whether the right to record the police, as stated and supported by the First Circuit Appeals Court, applies to the courthouse lobby. I may win, I may not. We don't know.
But what are your
But
charges? Are
the
they
point is that my
trespassing?
lawyer actually was the one who told me that yes, Obama did deport a lot of people, and I actually had no idea about that whatsoever.
Also, someone dropped a super chat. They said for land or sea travel, you can either use a passport or a passport card to enter Mexico, and that is through a checkpoint already. But you already said you disagree. But what was your charges? I'm curious.
It was trespassing and disorderly conduct, and they had to drop the disorderly conduct
So you're just getting charged with trespassing.
because I was videotaping a cop inside of a courthouse lobby.
No, I understand. I understand that's legal, and I hope you do beat your case. I would never wish criminal charges on anyone. That shit sucks. It's fucked up.
That's okay.
But at the end of the day, like, fuck, bro. Like, trespassing, shit, I don't know what to tell you.
That ain't shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is
I'm
that a
looking at it.
misdemeanor? That's a
Yeah,
misdemeanor, right?
suspended 30-day sentence if I lose.
It's a misdemeanor, though, not a felony, right?
No, yeah, misdemeanor, exactly. Class A.
Okay, so you're good either way. You don't have to stress too much about it.
No,
But
I wouldn't.
hopefully it goes well either way. But
I think it
to be
will.
honest with you, that would be different than if they charged you with, like, I don't know what other charges they could give you, but like actually recording them. I don't think they're going to be arguing too much if you can record or not. They're probably just going to say, "Oh, here you were on this day. You entered and you weren't allowed in and trespass."
Well, what do you think? Do you think that we should be holding people who work in courthouses accountable?
Yeah, I do, and maybe they are weaponizing the law against you. Maybe they are 100%. believe that they weaponize the law against the American people and politicians, just like I believe they weaponize the court systems and the laws against Donald Trump. Maybe he did do a couple crimes, but why would you put these crimes on him the exact moment he's about to be elected as president? That's just a little bit suspicious to me.
Hey, shout
And
out if
yeah, I
anyone's
don't
in.
believe the court system is 100% fair and just. And if you do piss them off, they will try to pin other charges on you 100%. But I mean, when it comes to what you're telling me, I mean, it sounds like I hope the best for you, but it sounds like it's going to be challenging.
Anyone who's in, I see someone says courts are corrupt as fuck. If anyone is into this kind of stuff, into like auditing, so on and so forth, or like case law, like courts, I'm going to be live streaming the whole case, the whole jury trial on my page. I'm Falcon Man 407. That's going to be on September 12th. So if you're in
Awesome.
Nashville,
I'll watch it.
yeah, Nashville, New Hampshire, September 12th, it's going to be, I think, jury. Oh, no, that's trial management. And then on the 22nd, we're starting on jury selection. So you can be there for that.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch your live stream. But can I ask you, what were you doing all the way in New Hampshire? Don't you live in Texas?
Yeah. No, I lived in New Hampshire as of last August.
Oh, interesting. What made you move to Texas? Family, or you just wanted to move somewhere new?
An ex, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Okay, girl. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll subscribe to your channel. I'll check out your live stream, and I hope the best for you in court. I think
It'll
trespassing
be
is bullshit. If you
it'll be
want to talk
okay.
about charges you should just be getting a fine for, or just like something basic, yeah, I can agree. Maybe if you get your first trespassing charge, it should be a fine or probation or something. Not even probation, maybe community service hours. Probation seems like bullshit too. Maybe community service. But
I
when it
think
comes
people
to
should be
illegal immigration, no, you should not get like a fine. You should be
I I think
misdemeanor
people
charge
should
and
be
kicked
allowed to
out.
just go to the I think people should be just allowed to go into a courtroom and start an argument with a judge.
I mean, then no court cases are going to ever be processed or filed. What about
But
that man that's trying to? What about that man that's trying to his murder case? He knows his lawyer will beat the case and he'll get out. But some dude comes in and walks in there, starts arguing with the judge. That's kind of
I mean,
seems like bullshit to
don't you
me.
think that debate and discourse is a net positive for the whole country? Like the
Yeah,
more
I do, but I don't think if some dude is trying to beat his court case that you should come in there and start interrupting the whole case. No,
No,
that's
I wouldn't interrupt, but I'm saying like if a judge is available, like I feel that like we should I would me personally, if I had a tax increase related to creating more judge out like billable hours for judges, I would pay that because if that would create more opportunity for me to have conversations that I want to have inside of a courthouse, I think that would be a net positive. Like there's a lot of the whole here's one thing that scares me. The Constitution is not statutorily set yet. So like there's a big reason why we don't have the rights that we feel we do is because there's no arm of the government which is really actually held to account for why they do or do not enforce it. So there are certain cities like I think Chicago, parts of New York, where they actually have statutorily set uh, extensions of the First Amendment. So the right to record the police is part of the law. We don't have that in most states, and I think that's a problem. And I would like to see
I
more
think we do
conversations.
have that in every state. I've never heard of any state saying you don't have the right to record police. I've seen hundreds, probably thousands of videos of people recording police on the internet. And sometimes it does end up like your situation. Police will charge you with some other crime because they can't charge you with recording them, so they'll charge you with some other crime, and then they'll try to make you go to jail or make you get probation or community service for that shit.
Yeah. No, I don't think that we've done enough. I think that the right to record the police should be a city statute, and then obviously a state statute if we can get that far too. But cities should make it there a priority that we make the Constitution law and not just the Constitution, like actual enforceable by state employees law, state sponsored
I
law,
think
not
the Constitution is enforced, but this is a
it's
whole
not
nother
enforced.
debate.
It's not because then that means that if there was a Fourth Amendment violation, a cop would arrest another cop, or the cop would be fined, or the cop would something right. There would be some kind of recourse and they're
Sometimes
really
they are. I
isn't.
know. I know.
No,
Cops don't get charged as
you
much
have
as
to take them to
civilians.
court.
Yes,
You have
I
to take them to
agree with
court.
you.
You have to sue them on your own dollar. It's not even cool.
That's capitalism for you.
Nah, that's fucking bullshit. Fucking that's bullshit. Cronyism democracy. That fake democracy.
Well, it's not a democracy anyway. It's a constitutional republic, and there's other countries that are better examples of direct democracy, like Switzerland.
Yeah. Are we? Well, how we're gonna do the direct democracy? We're gonna do like have you text your vote through a cell phone or what?
I mean, first off, I mean, look at Switzerland. Everyone votes on every law. The Congress doesn't pass laws. Like, the Congress isn't deciding for people. In Switzerland, the people decide for the people. The Congress doesn't decide what bills or what gets passed or not. The people directly vote for everything themselves.
I support that.
It's not like nothing. Like, if we did phone votes, that would be bullshit too.
Yeah, I support that. I don't like representatives at all, honestly. Consider this. What if a man read the Second Amendment, right? So there's a guy, right? And he's a representative. And he reads the Second Amendment and he's got a family and he's got like 2 sons and 2 daughters. And he reads the Second Amendment and he's looking at it and he's reading, he's interpreting it. And he says, holy shit, there is no situation where the Second Amendment should be infringed upon by the government whatsoever. So that means that you can have a gun in a school, in a courthouse, anywhere whatsoever. And that was his interpretation. Now, he would, if as a representative democracy exists, it would be his responsibility to communicate to us that, yes, we can bring, like, do you see the conundrum there where a guy may feel a responsibility to tell us the truth, but then at the same time, they feel a responsibility to protect their own family. So this
Yeah,
representative
I
democracy
understand
doesn't
it.
work. It doesn't work. Like, we can't rely on other people to interpret the law for us because they have their own modus operandi separate from what we have. They
That's
have
like
their own.
saying a popular vote should determine the direction of the country. However, the majority of people live in cities and cannot understand or quantify a rural lifestyle and challenges.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, Lord Naro. If you have any other questions or comments for him or for me, I'll read it out loud. We can talk, discuss. By the way, Ben, if you want to join the live stream, you're welcome in. Just join the Discord. It's linked in my bio, or anyone that wants to do a debate or a talk or whatever you want to call it.
Pretty much. Who do you think is the best president of all time?
Like, in history, who do you think's the best president of all time?
John Adams. John Adams.
Why?
Because of he was the lawyer that represented the British in the Boston Massacre.
Okay, you don't think Abraham Lincoln ending slavery was, one of the best things ever done?
He never wanted to end slavery. I like him a lot for doing it, but he didn't really actually want to do it. He was about preserving the Union, as most presidents are. John Adams did not have somebody to tell him what to do. He knew what was right on his own.
I don't know. That's interesting. I never heard John Adams. And also, I don't really know. I mean, I hear a lot of things about presidents. Those were like, 100, 200 years ago. So I don't know what they were really like,
Teddy
honestly, to
Roosevelt
tell
was
you.
an asshole. So Teddy Roosevelt and Taft worked together. Taft was really skinny when he was the governor of the Philippines, because the Philippines were a territory of America prior to like 1900 or whatever it was. So FDR and Taft are really good friends, really good buddies, and he's kind of this messy, neurotic type, right? So FDR eventually politically becomes an enemy of Taft and then starts slandering him and gets really, aggressive towards Taft and betrays him. And that's why Taft got fat.
Someone said he had slaves too. Would that affect your opinion of John Adams if he was a
Yeah,
slave
yeah.
owner?
I don't. But here's the thing, though. Everyone had slaves back then.
That is true.
It's not really fair. I don't think that slavery is like a shameful thing. I think that it's a technological thing that we did that's obsolete. So I don't look at it as like something that we need to punish people for. I think it's something that we need to be like, hey, why the hell aren't we pasteurizing milk? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if we have a better way to do things, we should use it.
And I know people are going to be triggered when I say this. And yes, I know lots of white people sold slaves and stuff like that, but do any of the Arabs or the countries in Africa take any blame for selling slaves to the white man or any European colonies, or is it just the white man is evil? I'm asking you, but I'm also asking chat.
Say the question again.
Do any other countries that sold African slaves take any responsibility, like countries in Africa and Arabs and other stuff like that, or is it just like anti-white man?
Yeah, no. I mean, well, South Africa definitely handled apartheid. They definitely so not slavery, but other massive.
Apartheid was in recent years, but from what
Yeah,
I read, lots of African countries and also Arab countries sold slaves to European colonizers.
yeah. So
Do you
someone's saying
agree, or
that
what are your
Africans
thoughts on
still
that? I'm curious.
uh someone's saying that Africans still have slaves. I'm sure that's. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's child slavery in Africa that I'm aware of. So I would presume if there's child, there's definitely probably adults that are slaves too. What was the question again, my friend? Oh yeah. By the way, I'm Christian. My name's Christian, man.
Hey, nice to meet you. My name's Graham.
All right, Graham. All right, what were you saying
I
again?
like that name though. Someone
Thank
said
you.
Adams defended the redcoats that committed the Boston Massacre.
Yes, that's true.
You know what
So
they
that
call us, MAGA supporters? They call us redcoats.
yeah, that's not funny. That's not cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's not funny and that's not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool. I wouldn't go for that. That's like you can get beat up for that if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what you're basically saying is get the fuck out of my country and get shot. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right,
Adams had no slaves.
really? Is that true?
I don't know. Someone said that.
Bullshit. Prove it. No way. If that's true, then he's definitely my favorite president of all time.
Honestly, I think that's bullshit. Every president around that time, I'm pretty
Had
sure, had
some, yeah.
slaves.
What are you saying? Like, he did all of every, like, because think about it, everyone was basically like super on welfare in the 1700s. Everyone was poor as shit, right? So if you want clean clothes, you're washing your clothes. If you want wood, you're getting your damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, slavery was the answer.
Slavery is very simple. Everyone sold everyone, and every color got bought. Zero
Well,
reparations for anybody.
listen,
Reparations for anybody. Zero reparations for anybody.
I'm not saying that every single black person is disabled, but we don't only give people money because something was done wrong to them. Sometimes we give people money because they have a disadvantage.
Yeah, disability, sure. I believe in disability, but do you believe in reparations? That's a crazy question.
It's gonna come. I mean, oh, God,
Even though
it's.
no one you know was your great grandfather or any of your family members that are living in your lifetime slaves, no, I don't
I
think
don't.
so.
I don't look at the I don't care. Like, when it comes to something like money, I don't really care why you give it to somebody. I just want you to give it to the people who need it, or just everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah,
really care
people
if
that
it's
are
reparation.
disabled, yeah, I agree. And also, someone said there are more slaves today than there were before the Civil War. I don't know
Uh,
if that's true, but if that's true, that's crazy. I would probably believe it.
but what country are they in? Are they in China, or are they in, like, where?
Probably all over the world, honestly, to be honest with you. Probably a lot in Africa, probably, China, probably. It depends what you mean by slave.
I know. You know what? There's you know what, you're right, and at the same time, it's like slavery never really went anywhere. It just the price of slavery just got higher.
You ever heard of indentured slaves? I think that's exactly what a lot of illegal immigrants are
Yes.
on these. I almost said plantations, but on these agricultural lands and farming land, they're
You
basically indentured slaves. They get paid just enough where they can barely afford a basic meal for the day.
and you saw the Channel 5 video where they talk about how you meet the contact in your city, like they bring you to New York, whatever, like that, and then you have to work to pay off your debts.
Yep.
That's slavery. That's fucking slavery.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, slavery is a problem, but the thing is, though, I don't think that people really want to do something about problems that don't affect them directly.
Over 50 million slaves today, most in Africa and Libya.
Yeah, that's so sad, dude.
That's messed up.
It's fucked up, bro. Don't. I was gonna vacuum. I mean, I'm not gonna vacuum unless. So you didn't say who your favorite president is.
Like I said, I would like to judge previous presidents, but it's kind of hard to because I know this is crazy. Maybe I'm black pilled. This doesn't sound like a red or blue pill, but I think a lot of the history is either fake or false. But
Okay,
I mean,
I see what you're saying. It's probably true. We can't prove it, can we?
no, we really can't. And they lie. I know you're probably going to disagree with me on this, and I don't want to go too deep in it. I don't want to talk about the jobs or anything. All I'm going to say is about lockdown. When you look up about the COVID and the lockdown on Wikipedia, it tells you there was a huge pandemic. It basically sounds like people were dying outside and falling to the knees and collapsing on the ground. But if you actually lived through the pandemic, it was nothing like it's described in the history books. Like, it sounds a lot worse in the history books, whether you actually believe it was really bad or not. Either way you look at it, unless you're like a complete radical leftist.
It was
And
bad in Nashua.
Huh?
We have a Nashua, the city I was talking about.
Yeah.
We have a high elderly population. It was
Yeah,
bad.
I'm not saying people didn't die or not, but that's a whole nother debate. But I do think people died, by the way, but just not in numbers they say they did. But the point I'm making is, if you read it on Wikipedia or you read it in the history books, it sounds like it was the end of the world, an apocalypse, like the whole world was shutting down. Like, it's impossible to walk outside without dropping to the ground or getting a sickness. Well, that simply wasn't true. I went outside. I traveled to different states. I didn't see anyone in the streets dying. Or, I mean, yes, there was elderly people getting sick and dying. Yeah, there was that, and there was people dying in the hospitals. But as far as like people like instantly dying and falling to the ground and throwing up all over the streets left and right, no, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah,
And
that
that's
sounds like a
exactly what
movie.
the history books will tell you. That's just a thin example, and that's in modern day. Imagine before the internet, imagine before video, imagine before all that. If that little is kind of distorted and mostly false, then imagine everything else in history that was complete bullshit.
Are you arguing for more journalism or less or no
I
changes?
don't think journalism can change the. I don't think journalism can change the way history is written, and also history is
We
only
can't know
written
the
by the
truth.
winners.
We can't know the truth.
I don't think journalism necessarily helps the truth. I think it's a lot of opinion pieces, but it's good to have journalism. I believe in journalism, but I think journalism isn't. I mean, don't you agree? Journalism is always like either one way or another. Like, it's not
Yeah,
really neutral.
it's so I got this from a Call of Duty game, but it's true. All writers are propagandists. Everyone has an agenda when they're writing,
I
right?
like that. All writers are propagandists, so then you can understand why. I don't. I feel I really don't care if more people are journalists or not. Sure, be journalist if you want. If that's gonna provide you a life, if that's gonna feed your family, then hell yeah, do it. Or if you just enjoy it, sure, go ahead and do it. Do I
But I
think it's
think that
gonna change history or make history better? Probably not. History will always be full of shit.
I think the answer is more journalism. I think that we need to obviously people are going to lie, but there's going to be consistent. There's going to be a consistency. I think there's going to be certain facts that we just cannot deny, and that will become the truth.
Maybe. I mean, obviously, we have basic facts like there was a World War One. Neither of us were alive for World War One. Neither of us were alive for World War II. We know that was facts. I mean, we have grandparents that were around for World War II. Some of us are great grandparents, but when it comes to World War One, most of us don't have any family members that were alive during then. I think all of us actually, but
I think they're all dead now. Yeah. What was that? Like 1920? What was that? What year was that?
yeah, that was over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So unless you have a great grandpa or someone that's 110 or 120 years old, yeah, no one's alive
I
from
don't know.
back then.
My grandparents young as hell. They all screwing when they were 12.
Damn.
Yeah, that's some hoes. My grandpa's is some hoochie mamas.
If you guys have any questions or comments, drop some super chats. Let me know if you guys have any questions. But
Who's
yeah,
the
where was I
European
going?
John Brown? Or am I the European? God, I think they're cool. I like their food standards.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. Shit, man. I kind of forget where I was going.
Let's talk about immigration some more if you want to.
What do you want to say?
Do you think we need more judges
For what?
for more immigration cases?
No, I don't think we should be going back and forth for all these immigration cases. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's cut and clear whether you entered the country legally or illegally. You either have a green card or you have some kind of viable paperwork or you don't. I mean, I don't know why we need more judges just to say, I mean, maybe for asylum cases, yeah, for asylum cases, sure. But for like people that enter the country illegally, not really. I think like ICE agents should be looking at people's paperwork. I mean, they present the green card or any kind of paperwork or a photo of paperwork, and I think they should check that. And if they're good, they're good. If they're not, then unless it involves something with asylum, then I don't think they really need more like judges for this. You there? I don't know where he went. If you want us to change subject, drop a super chat. We can talk about whatever subject you guys want. Oh, he disappeared. I think his phone died, probably. Do you guys have any questions or comments or anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to talk about, let me know, guys. Drop some super chats. Let's wait. Maybe he'll join back in. Okay, guys, let's wait. Everyone, drop any super chats or questions you guys may have, and we'll talk about it when he comes back. If he does come back, I think his phone died. Any comments, questions? No asylum should be granted for a person who did not cross at a port of entry legally. 100%. I don't think you should come into the country first. I don't think you should drop. Let me rephrase that. If you jumped over the border, I don't think you should be able to file for asylum. Now, if you came into the country on a visa, yeah, you should be able to, maybe. But I don't know what the laws or regulations on that. But definitely not if you entered the country illegally. Hell no. Hell no. If you entered the country illegally, you should not be given asylum. You should be rejected asylum just for doing that. Thank you, Lord Nero. That was a great point. Why did I hear like someone joining in? It like disappeared. I think he'll join back in possibly. But we have to wait and see, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, Lord Nero, Nero, I 100% agree. Yeah, W, Lord. No asylum should be granted for a person who did not cross at a port of entry legally. Yes, sir. Yeah. At night secretly like a sneak thief. Don't cross any border secretly at night like a sneak thief. Don't do that. Why should I support Obama? Because he deported 3 million people illegally? He can't run for president anymore anyway. Any actual questions or comments you guys want to talk about? A bunch of trolls. Trump ain't giving everyone asylum. I'm a hell of a Second Amendment advocate. If anyone wants to join in the Discord, we can set up a debate. We can talk for a bit longer. I think I might jump off live stream and wait for the next person that wants to hop on here and talk and debate. Yeah, guys. Lord Nero, come back in maybe 15, 20 minutes. I think I'm going to do another live stream with someone else. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate Lunchbox, Dirty Money, Lord Nero, everyone else that came and watched. I hope you guys liked and subscribed. We waited a good amount of time. I don't know where this fellow went, but maybe we'll do another live stream with him. Maybe we won't. If we get any more super chats or questions, we'll keep going for 10 or 20 more minutes, however long you guys want, or we'll just wait for him to join back. He might join back. But nah, let's wait. Let's wait about 1 more minute for any super chats or comments or questions. If anyone drops a super chat, we'll keep going. We can talk about whatever you guys want. If not, I think we'll get the next guest on here. 40 more seconds. About 40 10 to 20 minutes. I'll be back, guys. Appreciate you all, though. Much love. Hope you're having a great Thursday evening. Peace.